Hi everyone, this is Winged again. Okay, my first encounter with the demons in the dimensions, after I have had gone out of my body and experienced myself in the dimensions. So the very first time I left my body, it was a demon that came in and inhabited my body for a moment, and I went out and experienced myself in the dimensions. Now I was first there were dimensional planes, so I went to the first dimensional plane. I literally moved up. When I first left, I moved up because I didn't see anyone else around me. So I just moved up because I saw these layers and I wondered what they were. So I moved up, and that was my first encounter and experience with the dimensional beings. But then later, when I was up there, I noticed beings down here on Earth, but different looking beings. And I knew immediately they were demons, because before I had gone out of my body, I worked with demons from the perspective of placing them inside me, as one with me, and showing them who they are as one with me. Now, in the dimensions, it worked exactly the same way. So I was standing up there. It looks like a platform, these dimensional planes. It was quite thick, about this thick. Not really, but it was like a crystal white, glassy color. And then I'd look down and you'd be able to see everything. What I mean everything is you're able to see human beings walking around, and then the demons attached to them. So you have these boats where they have the glass and you're able to see the ocean underneath, exactly like that. But the glass would be the dimensional plane, and you're able to look down and see everything that's going on Earth, and with the demons. And so I looked at the demons and I went, I want to go and communicate with them. I want to meet them. I want to hear what they're experiencing. And so I did. I went down and I started communicating with the demons and finding out, what's happened to them, how they're experiencing themselves, and introduced them to forgiveness. So first I went and communicated with them with forgiveness and told them to do forgiveness with me. Most, of course, didn't want to. Some were afraid of me because they'd never seen a dimensional being just walking around in the demon dimension, because everyone feared demons in the dimensional existence at that time. Everyone, of course, in the dimensional planes thought I was absolutely going crazy, going mad, because they said, do you know anything of demons? Do you know that they are able to harm you? Do you know that if they transform you into a demon, you'll be lost into infinity? How can you go there? And I said, well, then it's probably, what did I say? Well, then I'm grateful that I don't have any knowledge and information of them, because clearly it's knowledge and information that you have of them that you're fearing them. I'm here, I'm me, and I'm communicating with them. There exists no fear within me, because I've worked with demons before and I know who they are as me. They just haven't realized it as themselves yet. So after that I went down, despite what anyone else said in the dimensions. They all went, oh my God, we're not going to see her again, and stuff like that. They said, do you ever want to go back to your body again? Don't go to the demon dimension. Those things. And I couldn't believe it. So I was the only expression in the dimensions going into the demon dimension. Now they were huge. There were some demons that were about 3 stories high, big, huge demons. And I'd be like this small compared to them, huge. Literally, there were some demons, if you take an ant, compared to a tree, literally like that, and they were really quite scary looking. What I mean by scary looking is they're very vicious stuff. It's worse. If you think you've seen evil pictures in this world, you haven't seen anything like the demons presented themselves at all. There was I'm certain if you die and you'd see one of the demons, you've never seen them before, you'll have a second death and literally just stop your own existence. But what I was able to see within demons was quite interesting, because although they presented this huge presentation of themselves as this real evil, fierce being, I could see right through them who they are. I could see them. And then what I did was I just expand myself bigger than they were, they believed themselves to be, and I expand myself until they eventually look up to me. And then what I do is I just place them inside me. I say, come here. Just come here. And at first they would try and resist me, but I just remain stable. To say, come look. Come have a look here. Sometimes I catch them and say, look, I present them, I show them fear, for instance, like extensive amounts of fear, as me. I say, come, have a look, here's fear, here's lots of fear, come, feed. And then they come in, and then I just drop the whole presentation or idea of themselves as a demon. It doesn't exist at all. And then what happens is they realize themselves in that moment in quantum time. In other words, everything of their definition of themselves as a demon disappears. And then they step forth as who they are. And that's how I experience myself in the demon dimension. So I do that with all the demons. Sometimes I'd communicate with them, just communicate, we do forgiveness together. And then I'd say, do the same thing, just expand myself, say, come here. I do it in various ways, depending on how they at first react. So if I say come here and they resist or want to run away, I show them immediately like just fear, but it's just a picture presentation. But they believe it to be real. And then when they come in, it disappears, they disappear, and they realize who they are, and then they are not of a demon anymore. But there were so many demons. At a stage I really wondered if there were more demons than there were actually dimensional beings. There were sometimes 3. There were sometimes 17 demons in one human physical body. And the children, it was really extensive, the demons inside the children. In all human beings, I did not see... Okay, about most of humanity, if not all, had demons inside them. Exactly as what Hitler also saw when he was here. Everyone was possessed by demons. But everything seemed to be so normal. But it's not. When you really see the effects of what the demons have, it's extensive. But I really enjoyed it. While it lasted. While the demons were still there. Until we, of course, cleaned up the demon dimension completely. Which I'm grateful for. Oh, but there was one time where these demons also tried to catch me, like capture me and have me remain in the dimensions. About 3 or 4 of them. But it's all an idea, it's fascinating. So the demons had like his arm like around my throat in the dimensions, and he placed like a metallic pole thing in the center of me, pinning me down to himself. So he said, now you will remain with me, inside me, infinitely. So I was inside this demon, pinned down with a metal rod placement interdimensionally. Now, if I believed that that metal rod would actually pin me down, it would have. But I just laughed because I knew that this is not real. So all I did was I stood up within myself, within him, and I stood as this demon, and I just showed him, this is who you are. And then he realized himself, and I was afraid. So I had some pretty fascinating experiences. Okay, this is Wayne. Speak later again. Thanks.